India's massive rescue effort in Nepal is called Operation Maitri. Headlines today is Rahul Kanwal got on board an Indian Air Force helicopter as part of this Operation Maitri. He was from Kathmandu and joined this aerial rescue and reconnaissance operation. This is his ground report.
We are currently on board an Indian Air Force chopper that has just taken off from the Kathmandu airport. Behind us, rescue material being brought. This material is being taken by Indian Air Force choppers to the worst affected areas. With us on this flight are locals from Nepal. These people are from the villages that have been badly impacted. What the Indian Air Force is attempting to do is to take these people to their villages to carry medicine, food, water supplies, and also to evacuate those who've been injured and to bring them back to safety. You're watching Operation Maitri live on Headlines today. Below us is Kathmandu, and you can see the effect of the devastation caused by the earthquake. Every inch of open land has been covered by tents. People have left their homes, they've gone into tents. All the parks, the fields, open areas, community areas have been taken over because people feel far safer under the open sky than they do in their own homes.
Rahul Kanwal there reporting from Ground Zero. For those who survived this deadly earthquake, it's an unending nightmare. It's a heart-wrenching story of a father who could do nothing despite hearing the pleas of his daughter. She was trapped in the debris. Her screams have stopped. Eventually, he believes that his daughter may not have survived. Manogya Loiwal brings us face to face with this tragedy that's unfolding in Kathmandu.
कल तक आवाज आ रही थी?
हाँ, कल तक शाम तक आ रहा था सुबह तक. अभी तो वो हो गया. और कैसे निकलेगा ये हमको मालूम नहीं. जिंदा तो नहीं होगा, मरा हुआ है तो अपना बेटा बच्चा तो चाहिए हमको.
Yes, they're still waiting, hoping against hope. These parents last heard their daughter scream from the debris and continued to hope for her life until she got quiet suddenly.
हम बाहर गया था, बीवी को लेके हॉस्पिटल में, बेटा बेटी को दुकान पे छोड़ के गया, वापस आ गया तो ऐसे हो. अभी तक नहीं निकला, निकालने के लिए कैसे निकलेगा, सबसे नीचे, और कैसे निकालेगा उसको कैसे पहुंचेगा मालूम ही नहीं है.
कल तक आवाज आ रही थी?
हाँ, कल तक शाम तक आ रहा था सुबह तक. अभी तो वो हो गया. और कैसे निकलेगा ये हमको मालूम नहीं. जिंदा तो नहीं होगा, मरा हुआ है तो अपना बेटा बच्चा तो चाहिए हमको. वो कोई नहीं.
And the mother is beyond control, beyond condolences, and completely shattered. These helpless parents could do nothing despite hearing heart-wrenching shrieks from their daughter. And like them, many others are desperately looking for their children in this hour of catastrophe.
It took several years in making a home and several years in making a sweet shop. But the bitterness that has been left behind with this earthquake will remain lifelong in the family of these people. Perhaps the most difficult part for them would be seeing the dead bodies of their own children with their own eyes and carrying it on their shoulders for the last rites. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
And this is just one story. There are several like these, not just in Kathmandu, but across Nepal. There are teams that are racing against time, desperately trying to save lives. Manogya Loiwal with one more report.
On one hand, the NDRF teams are working tirelessly and continuously to ensure that as much as debris is removed from this place, and with that there is, if at all, any dead body and alive people, they can be taken out safely outside. The gas cutters are being used here to ensure that the number of people who stuck inside and the dead bodies are evacuated and taken out at the earliest. But for the families who have been staying here and who have their loved ones stuck there inside this debris, it's a never ending wait. How difficult it is? भैया कितना मुश्किल है, आपके दोनों बच्चे फंसे हुए हैं अंदर अभी तक.
मुश्किल की तो बात ही नहीं है जान, कितना वो डर जोड़ा टर्ब रहा है. जिंदा या मुर्दा हमको मिलेगा तो बहुत अच्छा होता है, वो भी नहीं मिल रहा. सबसे नीचे गया है, वो कैसे निकलेगा वो.
माँ का बहुत बुरा हाल हो रखा है, माँ तो बात ही नहीं कर पा रही.
हम बात नहीं कर पाए, वहाँ तौड़ा पर बैठा है, पाल लगा के रोड में बैठ रहा है, जमीन में सो के बैठ रहा है.
This is a story of a family who's been searching their kids, their 2 kids who were there at house when they had gone out for some work. The couple was out for some work and the 2 kids were at home when the earthquake tremors shook entire Nepal. But आपके लिए कितना मुश्किल है, कौन फंसा है अंदर अभी?
मेरा बीवी और बच्चा फंसा है, 5 महीने का बच्चा है. बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है. कल 3 रोज से हम यहाँ बैठ रहे हैं, धूप में बैठ रहे हैं. हम इंतजार कर रहे हैं बच्चों के लिए. बहुत बच्चे माँ कब निकलेगा हम देख पाएंगे बोल के यहाँ इंतजार कर रहे हैं, बिना खाया पिया हो लोग. वही है.
It's all about a glimpse. It's not that the people who will come out of this place will be able to talk or give their account of what they've gone through. But one thing is for sure, that for these families who are waiting here, it's a never-ending wait, at least till they catch a glimpse of those who are no more in their lives. But their memories will stay forever. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kathmandu, Nepal for Headlines Today.
As Nepal slowly recovers from Saturday's earthquake, the focus is now shifting to these heart-wrenching tragedies of the aftermath. Let's now tell you about Sher Bahadur. He lives in Bakhtapur district of Kathmandu. His house has been reduced to rubble. There's no sign of his son. There's no sign of his daughter-in-law. They were at home. The young couple have been missing since Saturday. Sher Bahadur is a part of the Nepal Army rescue team. They've been digging non-stop for the past 2 days, rigorously clearing debris littering the area. They're trying to save as many lives as they can, but no one has any idea about Sher Bahadur's own family.
अब तो अपना बेटा बहू को ढूंढ रही हूँ, अब किसको ढूंढूं? तो यही तलाश कर रहा हूँ, अपने बेटे को, बहू को.
क्या इसके भीतर दबे होने की उम्मीद?
वो आशंका वही है, इसके अंदर ही होगा.
Now these victims of the Nepal earthquake, many of them are being cremated. Mass cremations taking place at the Pashupatinath temple cremation ground on the banks of Bagmati river. It is said in Hindu religion, in Nepal especially, those who are cremated at the banks of Bagmati river right next to the Pashupatinath temple attain salvation.
Right next to Pashupatinath temple is the Pashupati Ghat, where last rites are performed, and today this extraordinary people who have come here to perform the last rites. Their heart-touching scenes out here. As far as the eye can see, last rites are being carried out. Relatives have come here with the bodies of those who have died in this tragedy, this major tragedy. And more than 2,700 persons have died, and more than 6,000 people are injured and are recuperating at the hospitals, and they are braving shortage of medicines, doctors and other services. So clearly this is a major tragedy which has struck not just in Nepal but even the adjoining region in India, and the entire region is under its influence. With camera person Vinod, Atir Khan in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
There are 300,000 foreign tourists in Nepal at this point of time. This is peak climbing trekking season also. Headlines Today's Atir Khan spoke to a French couple in Nepal for whom a holiday turned into a tragedy.
Kathmandu is a famous tourist destination, but after the earthquake, a number of tourists have been stranded. We have with us Philips and Leela, who've come from France all the way. Let's talk to them. Philips, how are you whiling away your time? How are you spending your time? Because there's no connectivity. So what do you do?
We try to connect with our family to give them news. We try to be connected on the internet, but it's not easy. We try to have a rest because during the night we cannot sleep very properly because it's raining, it's cold, and also we try to read, but that's all.
So how do you, are you sleeping out in open? That's what you were telling us earlier?
yes, we prefer to sleep outside the building, outside the hotel, because we still have the fear of the cracks, and we don't want that something happen here. So we feel more secure to sleep outside the building.
Yes, but there's lots more to be done in Kathmandu. You can go to casinos. Have you been to casino?
Yeah, at the moment we don't think about this. We prefer to stay safe, just far from any buildings.
That is the priority, you see, to remain safe, and that is what every tourist in Kathmandu is trying to do at the moment. With camera person Vinod, After Khan in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
As India intensifies its rescue operations in Nepal, 1,935 stranded Indians have been rescued so far from the earthquake-hit Nepal. Another C-17 aircraft of the Indian Air Force arrived this morning in Delhi from Kathmandu, 291 passengers on board. The Rapid Action Medical Team of the Indian Air Force has set up a hospital in Kathmandu. This hospital is armed with medicines, equipment and an operation theatre. It's been set up at Lagan Khel, some 8 kilometers from the airport in Kathmandu. There are 3 doctors and 25 paramedics to man this centre. Another 14 civilian flights will operate from today to and fro Kathmandu. This is between Kathmandu and Delhi, and evacuate those stuck in Nepal. The government will also be plying special buses from Pokhara to Raxaul and from Kathmandu to Gorakhpur as part of the rescue mission.